Take a breath, step outside.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for the Indigenous Ways virtual events. And Indigenous Ways acknowledges the traditional owners of country throughout Turtle Island and pays respects to the elders, past and present. We like to take this time to acknowledge our traditional owners and ancestors of these lands we reside on here in New Mexico. All around us are pueblos. There's 19 different pueblos in very close vicinity to us here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We'd also like to take this time to honor the traditional owners and ancestors from the lands you are beaming out of so that we could all be here today. Today is a special day, and as always, Indigenous Ways is dedicated to bridging cultural exchange with people globally, and Zoom is a perfect platform for that. We've been hosting these virtual events now and have supported over 90 presenters, all with top notch ASL interpreters. Our shows are free. Thank you all for your support that has kept these virtual events going. Guess what? If you didn't support us, we would not be here today. And this is like going into month 14. So this is absolutely insane in a good way. So I'm just going to introduce our next guest we have been anticipating. And I'm just going to say, her name is Bond, Sage Bond. She isn't licensed to kill, but she's been known to steal the show. And after a brush with The Voice, she's resolved to knock 'em dead, American Idol. Sage was born and raised on the Navajo Nation. She is a motivational speaker on youth suicide and is a musician playing alternative, classic rock covers, originals, and metal. Yes. So, Sage, wow, you're here. Can you tell us a little bit about us before you blow our minds away with your vocals?
Hi, Yada, she Sage Bond Unisha, Lizafana Nishkle, the Bashish Chin Tatnazani Dashiche Chishidashnala, Ada Begashi Pitote Nasha. Hello everyone, my name is Sage Bond. I am of the Navajo and San Carlos Apache tribes. My clans are Many Goats, San Carlos Apache, Tangle People, and Chiricahua Apache. And I am from Cow Springs, Arizona, coming to you from Flagstaff, Arizona. Kintlana. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. This has been, there's been very few shows during the pandemic, and I feel lucky that I keep getting to do events like these online and events at a safe distance. So,
Akut That's the way it is. Wow. Apache. Apache. I love Apaches. You know, we're cousins, and we have some relatives that are married into the Apache clan from the Arizona side. I think it's San Carlos, maybe. My mom's here. Hi, Mom. Maybe I'm wrong, Mom, but maybe I'm right. Anyways, tell us a little bit about yourself, Sage Bond, your early beginnings. Where did you get raised? Like, where did you go to school and where you at culturally and all that kind of good stuff?
so I was raised on the Navajo reservation growing up in Red Lake, Arizona. I attended the same school for from preschool to community college, all in Tuba City, Arizona. And I started playing guitar when I was 9 years old. I wanted to be like a thrash metal guitarist and play like lead solos in front of everyone and do the whole shebang. But um, then I found singing at 13, and my mom would take me to karaoke, and we had a good time. I learned how to sing in front of an audience and get over the stage fright. And not long after that, I learned how to put the singing and guitar playing together, and I joined a country band, which is surprising because I play metal now. So I joined a country band and I got my chops up, but they were very patient with me and they taught me how to keep in time with the band, how to, I guess, wing it with my guitar not plugged in at first, and then later on becoming a huge part of the band, and then taking off and becoming a singer-songwriter and a solo artist. And I've been doing that ever since I was 13.
Wicked. Very cool. So, as a solo artist, when you have bands, how did you find your musicians and pick your first, like when you were in your beginnings and when you got your first band, if you're on a reservation, how did you find the people and then how did you find the space to be able to practice?
Well, the thing is, I was the one that joined a lot of other bands, not me making up a band by myself. There was one band that stood out to me called Coalition, where the lead singer, Tony, brought me in, and I was just going to play guitar with them and probably collaborate on a few songs. But he told me, like, we want you up front. We want you to do your own songs. We want to be your backing band for you. And I'm not sure if the rest of the band agreed, but Tony was people like him that were very encouraging during my career, and I was so young and still learning my way around like music business on the reservation, which was a bit shady, but I mean, you gotta learn somewhere. And um, yeah, but right now I have my own band. We're called Lozen. We got together about 2 years ago, and we were signed to Rock Avenue Records at the beginning of 2020, and then the COVID happened. So hope my band's doing okay out there. Haven't seen them, haven't practiced since.
Wow, that's so amazing and that's so beautiful. My mom's probably listening with my stepdad and Chinley going, she's telling Tasha's story because everything you said, I followed that trajectory way before you. So that's pretty wild. It's like, wow, very cool. All right, Sage, before we go too much further into the show, we'd love to hear a song of your choice. What are you going to sing for us today? Unfortunately, we don't have the big sound behind us, but you know what? You can hold it by yourself with just you and your guitar.
Right, I hope it sounds pretty good through the Zoom meeting and also the link available in the comments from Audio Movers.
Okay,
So
we'll see what
I'm
happens.
going to sing Dreamer by Judas Priest, one of my favorite bands. Of course, I'm wearing the shirt.
My
Here it goes. Standing by my window, breathing summer breeze, saw a figure floating neath the willow trees, asked us if we were happy. We said we didn't know. Took us by the hands and up we go. We follow the dream path through the purple haze clouds. We could control our sense of time. Thought we were lost, but no matter how we tried, everyone was at peace of mind. Felt the sensations drifting to our frame, feeling complete contentment. All of the tensions that hurt us in the past just seem to vanish. Said the cosmos was a single sonic sound, and it's vibrating constant. And if we could grab and hold on to the love, we would see our minds were free. Oh, free. Yeah, yeah, we got lost before. Floating away, you can shine, shine,
Woo! Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Right on. I love I love his vocals. What's his name? The Judas Priest lead singer?
I love his vocal goals. Right now I'm a little raspy because I didn't practice, I didn't
You know
warm
what?
up enough for the show. But
The raspy sounds good though. It works.
thank you.
Yeah, that's cool. So, this is one of those concerts where we're supposed to be listening to our interview, but I just want to hear straight music, but we don't have everybody that's out, I just want to tell you to listen in stereo concert series. Guest Sage Bond on the chat box to the right. This is to you, Mom, Harry, Carlin, Caleb, all of you. Click on that link and it should download and automatically link into her vocals.
Also, those people that are out in social media land, that same link has been sent to you as well. Thanks.
All right. Well, I'm kind of floored. I'm not even sure what to ask you now. So, for your original music, what do you like to write about?
Well, I write from experience mostly. I grew up with anxiety and depression at a young age, and I didn't realize it when I was a kid. There was a lot of stressful events going on in my home, such as domestic violence and alcoholism, which was caused by my father. Dog outside. And there was it took me a long time to figure out what that was, and of course it had to get worse before it got better, which doesn't it's not the best thing to go through, but it made me stronger. It made the bonds between my family and myself stronger, and of course between me and my fans, to know something personal about me in that way, that I used music as this to heal myself from going through so much trauma as a kid. And it was a lot, and I'm glad I got through it and was able to join a suicide prevention group, and I got to share my story with so many communities across the reservation, on and off the reservation, and places where incidents happened, with a group called Building Communities of Hope. And we did suicide prevention presentations, and I shared my songs, and it was all healing, and that's what my album Prisoner is mostly about, because of all this growth that I went through and this realization.
Thank you so much for explaining all that about yourself, Sage. And thank you for putting the spotlight on suicide awareness, because it's a thing. It's a thing on the reservation for sure. And it's not something that I believe is talked about enough. I think that it should be constantly addressed in the school system, with the news, and we really need to bring in some intervention and some people and all these different modalities that the beautiful indigenous cultures have. We have a lot of different mix of ways to heal, and just like everybody else, we have choices. So I'm really proud of you for getting out of that. So in this space and time that we're at right now with coronavirus, have you been able to write any new songs?
Yeah, I actually put out a song last year during quarantine. I titled it Truth, and it was inspired from all the division that I was seeing. Everything was heightened once everyone had to stay inside and be on their they had to watch what was happening in the world. So there's a lot of bad that came from it, and with this song I wanted uh, to give a message for the next generation, that we can do better. I want to do better for the next generation. I want to be a positive role model for my younger brother, and just that we got to keep fighting the good fight. There's a line in Truth where I state, "Black and brown, can you bleed for me?" I thought it was a controversial line that I didn't really want to include in my song, but of course it's called Truth, and I wanted to get that message across, even if it's in your face. And um, just like, how much more can we take, and we can all do better. So
Interesting. I would love to hear that if it's on your song list, but if not, that's cool. Are you going to sing
it's
us
not
another
on my
song?
song
Oh.
list. I didn't include it in my song list, but I can play you guys a different song that is titled Under the Sun. It was recently re-released with Clara Natanaba, and she had this idea of getting all um, female, or identified as female, musicians and engineers to work on this album, and it's called Spirit Line. And there's all indigenous female musicians on there, and I got to put in my song for the compilation, and it's about the creation of the 4 original clans in the Navajo emergence story, and where a changing woman creates the clans from her flesh specifically. And they, of course, they come from all parts of her body. And there's a line in my song where I say sacrifice of her skin, and also talks about like appreciating women, appreciating motherhood, and all aspects of it. So,
All right. Well, that sounds great. Let's hear another song.
right. Okay, this is called Under the Sun. Oops. Under the sun, she shows me I am the one who holds the earth. Light passes by to the unknown. Black clouds of rain scatter the sky. Legacy, born to survive night. Sacrifice of her skin. Run to the east, the white mountain. Two souls unleash the fear of man. Winter breather, she is changing. Follow the path, the serpent lies. Yeah! Legacy, born to survive night. Sacrifice of her skin. Fog is resting on the mountain spirit's shoulders, guided by the one with power. Phantom warrior arise, holding to the shape of chaos when she is forming. Fog is resting on the mountain spirit's shoulders, guided by the one with power. Phantom warrior arise, holding to the shape of chaos ridden, she is forming. Nightmare across the land. She will save us from death. Give us the land
Thank you. Yeah. That's the song I didn't
Ooh.
ever want to end. I just wanted you to continue singing it to the end of the show. Just go around and around and around. And oh my gosh, how you get that vocal range from that grungy, it sounds like one of those guitars, lead guitars, to grunge, but then you got it through your voice, and it's almost like you become like the monster, man. You become the monster, and then you become the savior. And guess what? She's a native woman. Yay! That's
Well,
so
actually, I
cool.
think it's like the Cookie Monster vocal. I think it's like a metal growl. And until I started attending uh, the School of Music and learning more about like vocal health and vocal techniques, and I heard during one of my choir classes that it comes from a jazz technique, and you do this ugly sound where you like it's very breathy, and you like breathe out with just making it raspy on purpose, and you
Hmm.
so it starts from there, and then if you build up enough without hurting yourself, then you can get louder. But and then also my larynx is very relaxed during that, which it is not when I'm singing, like when I'm talking now and when I'm singing in chest voice. So
Oh, wow. That's a
yeah,
learned and a practiced technique, isn't it?
long time to learn how to not hurt my throat
That's
doing
right.
that.
I feel like you're tearing it up when you try to do that if you don't do it right now.
Yeah, yeah, you get like a vocal scar tissue. No one wants that.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, another thing about Under the Sun, originally on the album Spirit Line, it is all electric, um, brutal, distortion, and it's like a Diné metal ballad, and I play all the instruments on there, and I even learned how to play drums to back myself up on that track. But now um, I just do the unplugged version, and yeah.
So, on top of all this, the music training, you also have technology and production under your belt, or learning it, or in the process and employing that too. Are you able to do that too? Production?
I'm not the one. I'm not the engineer here. My partner is here
Oh, cool.
running sound and getting the nice sound out to everyone through the link, and he set up my stuff here, and I don't have the patience to do that. I mean, I want to learn. Of course, I want good sound, but I'm not a very techie person, especially, and that's not very helpful during the pandemic because everything's online now. But um, during quarantine, I did have to like invest in a lot more gear in order to be able to do shows like this. And that's what a lot of musicians are going through right now is like, how can I get better sound? How can I do this and not have a like crappy sound through a streaming gig? But yeah, we're still working on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Especially on the Zoom platform, huh? That's wicked. Well, I just got this epiphany. It came to me. Do you want to hear it? And it has to do with you. Okay, the epiphany that I got is, what would be so cool is all this stuff you're learning. If you learned it and went out and did your thing, and then later on down the line, bring it back with a really wicked uh, platform, business plan, curriculum, idea, just everything that's just, it's a sell, it's a convinced sell, and bring it back and present it to the president of Diné College in Salie, Tsaile. That's how to spell it, Salie. Or present it to some like Tuba City High School or Chinley High School and say, hey man, let's bring this skills that I work so hard out there. Let's bring it back to our children. And if you could teach the
That's
kids how to have those techniques.
goal of my whole
No
education.
way.
Yeah. Well, probably not shooting for Diné College. I
Yeah.
can, but I am. aiming to become like a music teacher later down the line, or just bringing back music programs, like a solid music program on
Yeah.
the reservation, because I didn't have that when I was younger. I go home, play guitar, and then I go to school, and there's no music classes. And there was a guitar teacher at one point, but he did not want me to play metal at all. And he was like, "Get out of my class." And that was in 6th grade, so you can tell everyone I failed guitar class, but here I am.
Hey, right on, Sage. What's the first metal song you learned on an acoustic guitar?
On an acoustic guitar, or well, when I was 9, I was playing Enter Sandman by Metallica.
Oh,
I know that everyone learns like the Deep Purple riff, but I picked up Metallica's like supposedly intricate, more melodic riff before learning like chunky chords to play on the guitar. So
hmm
um, the first song I learned to sing was by Alicia Keys.
oh, wow.
Yeah, that was from singing with my mom. She loves R&B and like oldies, and she sings too, so that's where my voice
Cool.
comes.
Is she on the show today?
I hope so. I don't know. I didn't see her
Hello.
name
Yeah,
on it.
Day.
Hi at home if you ever watch this later.
It's going to be saved. If she doesn't get it now, she can go to our website and go click on events, drop down box, hit video library, and go right to your show, and she can hear it anytime she wants. And our beautiful co-founder, Elena Higgins from New Zealand, edits everything after the show, so she cleans it all up. So there's a nice, more finished product for our video archives. This is actually the rough cut right now. This is the draft. It's all going to get edited. Let's hear another song by Sage Bond. Rock on, girlfriend.
Right, this song is from my album Prisoner, and this is the title track, Prisoner. Cut your way into my door. The craziest you left. It's been 2 years too long. You had me on a taint of misery. Ah, with you again. Lay down, fall back, send your love to calm down. Lay down, set your body free, and I break away from you. She's been before, walking down the road. She's got a young past. You've been messing with her head. Oh, in her eyes, prisoner, she says, oh, oh, yeah. Lay down, fall back, send your love to calm down, lay down, set your body free. I am the one who played with the untrue. You brought me out. I am the one who gave my life to you. You brought me out. I break away from walk into the light of day. Yeah. You gotta hold on me when you say that you see that you are mine. You got me down. I am the one who gave my life to you. You got me down. Yeah, yeah. I am the one who laid with the untrue. You got me down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am the one who gave my life.
All right, everybody, let's just breathe for a minute. That was beautiful, intense, meaningful. Good stuff, Sage.
Thank you.
So you've got 2 more songs for us today?
I think so. Yes. Trying to remember my list that I sent you.
Okay. Before you go into your next song, how did you get into music?
I grew up in a musical family. My mom sings and my dad played guitar, and I picked up both of them, and I knew when I was in second grade that I wanted to be on a stage and perform. Like I literally wrote that on one of my assignments for like, what career do you want or something like that. But yeah, I just felt like this is something that I want to keep doing. I want to keep working at. There's days where I get like writer's block, and I don't feel like I can continue with one riff and keep building off to make a song. But I mean, later on, then I'll pick up the riff again and then build onto it and hopefully make another song. And that's just how it goes. But
I got some really good advice for you that is for everybody out there, especially our little sister Caleb. This is her sign. Caleb is with us today. I too suffer from writer's block. So today I was going to IAIA, which is Institute of American Indian Arts campus. And as I was driving there, I just got this big surge of energy of just this creative flow just started happening. All this interiority was connecting with the exteriority, and I could feel all the symbology of all the signs and symbols and buildings and everything driving as I was getting closer and closer to IAIA. And I realized that all that feeling and surging coming out of me was about identity and feeling like I belong, like this is home. And I went, oh my gosh, what can I do? I'm driving. So I pulled out my phone and I just clicked quick voice and I just started talking into it. And I ended up with 3 essays, songs, something I could incorporate Navajo into, chanting into, whatever. I might even, whatever, who knows where it's going to go. But You should try that, Sage, and everybody out there that gets creative writer's blocks. If you're a writer, just use your phone and sign into it and speak into it, save it. We have those capabilities today with technology. We can get it right there in the spot because it's fleeting. If you don't got a napkin with lipstick to write it on or a notebook with a pen, man, that stuff's gone. It's gone forever. So take it or leave it. That's my advice. Can you share another song with us, Sage?
Yeah. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play some Queensryche. And this song is called "Take Hold of the Flame." We see the light from those who find a world has passed them by. Too late to save the dream that's growing. We realize that fate must hide its face from those who try to see the distant signs unforetold. Take From a haze came a rain to thunder, a distant signs of darkness on the way. Fading cries, screams of pain and hunger. What in the night, the light will find its way. So take hold of the flame. Can't you see life's a game? So take hold of the flame. You got nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Right to a place beyond our time. Reach for the edges of fire, and you're there. See that the night will find its way back to a place where we will stay and get started. Throw down the chains of oppression that bind you. With the air of freedom, the flame goes bright. We are the strong, the youth united. We are one, we are children of the light. So take hold of the flame. Can't you see life's a game? So take hold of the flame. You got nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Every day, nothing to lose.
Ahead. Johnny yet. Intrash. I love the way you sing and play music, and we will continue to follow you, Sage. Thank you so much for your wonderful performance. We're going to do a quick Q&A as soon as Elena does a quick commercial break. So stick around, everybody. We're going to allow all of you to come on and talk to Sage yourself. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for beaming in. We're just going to keep you up posted with what's going on at our next Wisdom Circle. Thanks for that, Sage. Bloody excellent vocal range and all sorts of good things. Anyway, this coming Wednesday, we're really thrilled. We've got Auntie Joanne Woolmont beaming in all the way from South Australia, Adelaide. She
Aboriginal.
is a mover and shaker in women's business, Aboriginal business. She is in South Adelaide government doing amazing things for people of country. So be sure to beam in, hear her words of wisdom this coming Wednesday, 6 p.m. And we're really, really excited about that. As Tash said, we have supported over 90 Indigenous, LGBTQIA, and deaf and hard of hearing presenters, amazing musicians like Sage through this circle. All of them have been free, so it's access to all as well as our wonderful interpreters. Today we've got the beautiful Chris Asiano who is with us, and also you saw Martin, and so that's making access available for all during this time. All of those have been archived. You can pick up Sages in the next 24 hours and share that out with your networks. You can find that at our website, IndigenousWays.org. There too is a newsletter. We send out a weekly newsletter with all the amazing things that's going below us. And if you're on social media, please be sure to like or subscribe is all our social media. Hey, thanks everyone for beaming in right at this moment, or if you're watching the recording social media or the recording of this, thank you, thank you, thank you. And also want to give a shout out to our sponsors this time round. That includes the Native American Advise Fund. We also have the New Mexico Arts. We have the Santa Fe Community Foundation, West Staff, and also Northern Rio Grande National Heritage Area, that we're grateful that these can come to you. Thank you also our individual donors. And a lot of you know, July 1st and 2nd, we're making our
12th. Number 12.
Number 12th relief run up to the Navajo Nation. We're doing 2 runs, one to the deaf and hard of hearing, which will be our 5th.
In Shiprock.
And also to the Black Mountain community. And also there we're starting a water project. So on this particular run, not only are we taking foods and PPE and all that wonderful stuff that you've also helped us with, but also water. So we'll be taking a trailer and also a water container, 500 gallons or something. It's summer, so all the community can make sure that they their sheep get watered and so forth. So we're pretty jazzed up about that. If you want to support that or find out more, go to our website, IndigenousWays.org. Also, we have our donation page, which is here, which we're very, very grateful for all of those individuals and everyone. If you can, and then saying that, our lines are open. We are recording and we're also going out live. If you are fearless about that and you're in our Zoom, we want you to turn on your cameras. You might have a comment or just want to check in. While people are figuring out in Zoom how to turn on their cameras or get themselves on live, what is also going on is this. And if you're in our social media, you might want to make a comment. But so far, Sage Janet Gray says, beautiful musician. Thank you. We've also got Mary Sue Alder Gilbert through our social media pages saying, oh my God, that was so beautiful. And then also in Zoom and through social media, we've got Sheila Martinez, her wonderful granddaughter, Josh!
You gotta say some words, girlfriend. Say hi to Sage.
Bam!
We can't hear
How's
you.
you guys been?
It's so great to see you.
Well,
Hey,
so what do you want to say to
Jocelyn,
Sage?
what do you want to say to Sage? We're on the same wavelength.
I haven't seen you for a while and I subscribed to your channel.
Oh, it's great to see you. Hey, Jocelyn, you've grown this much, man.
Hey.
You are tall.
Hey, Sage, she was at your concert in Saley. Remember the Beauty Way Music Festival? Her grandma is on our board, and she's with us today, too. We love you, Jocelyn and
Jocelyn,
Sheila.
great to see you.
Oh,
All right, Missy, Demetrio, would you guys like to say something?
Hi, hey, yeah, Sage, I was also there with my BFF. Yeah, so anyway, so good to see you again. And yeah, I got your CD there at the Beauty Way Healing Festival, and then even got the T-shirt. So yeah, so we're big fans. And we really happy to see that you're out here performing even through COVID and getting through it and finding ways to make it work. And love to hear your history too. And I knew a little bit of it from when you performed last time, but it was great to hear more of your story. So the music was good. I like the different varieties and ranges of your voice, and being able to do a cover and your originals along with it. It's really cool. Loved it.
Hey, Demetrio, what's up?
What's happening? Hey, y'all. Sage. God, what a powerful voice. I was just missing a wall of speakers is really what I was missing, because we're watching on this little computer and watching all that sound trying to come through this little tiny thing. It's like, oh God, if I just had some big speakers right now. Anyway, thank you so much. It was really rocking, really, really great stuff. Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thanks so much for that, Missy, and also Demetrio. Sage, just before we go to anyone else, where can we pick up your music or any of your merchandise?
I have CDs for sale. I think I still have Prisoner. My album Prisoner is still out there. Physically and also digitally on all the streaming platforms. You can hear it for free on YouTube if you look up my name. I'm not the dog on YouTube. That's not me. Who also is named Sage Bond. You'll see the album cover, which was drawn by my younger brother, Sequoia. And I have music on Bandcamp also. That's where you can find Truth. You can hear the single Truth also on other streaming platforms. And Under the Sun, which I just said earlier, was re-released with Spirit Line, their compilation album. That's available on soundcloud.com. And I'll share it all on my social media also. If you keep up with me on Facebook and Instagram. And I think those are the only ones I have.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Sage. So if you are finding you're having withdrawals, which we understand why with that extraordinary vocal range, and you're like, what's wrong? Go and check out Sage Bond on all the wonderful social networks so you can listen. Also help her out. A lot of the people that we've had on, artists, authors, the whole gamut have been struggling. So please be sure to help her out. Carlon.
Hi guys, hi Sage. It was so wonderful to listen to you sing, and even more wonderful to listen to your story and your background. It was very impactful. I just had some comments. There may not be right on, but I wanted to share with you a perspective of what I heard in your voice, if you don't mind. I wrote them down because after hearing your story and knowing that you sing from your experiences, I was listening for these things. And the first thing I heard was innocence as a child. And I could hear that in your voice. It was very light. It was very innocent, and a very, very beautiful sound. Secondly, I heard you intensify your voice as just like you were telling your story with your experiences. Some was good, and there was some stuff not so good, and then it intensified. So I could hear intensity in your voice as you moved forward. Then I heard in your voice, and this is just my perception, so it could be totally inaccurate. I heard this kind of a harmonizing quality. It almost appeared like I'm trying to be compliant, with everything, The next thing we heard, which was so impressive, was the grungy, raspy voice that I interpreted, and I couldn't always hear your words thanks to not so great quality of Zoom. But I couldn't hear the words, but I could certainly hear your voice. That grungy, raspy quality reminded me of anger striking back, resisting, not going to be compliant. I'm going to be who I am. And that was really beautiful. I loved that portion of it. And then I can't remember if you were singing in Diné or not, but your words in the higher registers. But that reminded me of the chanting that I love so much. And that chanting to me, even though I don't understand the words, I understand the language, it's always healing. It's a healing thing. It was almost like you went through this entire cycle of innocence experience, trying to harmonize, comply, getting angry, rage, and then going back to chanting and healing. So those are just some observations, and I don't know how accurate those are, but I just wanted to share those with you. And thank you so much for your talent.
Thank you for your comment. I love that. I've never had a comment like that before. Yeah, I really love being able to convey emotions through not only an instrument, but the instrument within myself. And of course, in my career and why I'm going to school for voice is to learn all these different voice techniques where I can convey even more emotion and become more, use it as a coping mechanism when I need to, and then also just feel so empowered because not a lot of female musicians sing the way I do. And I really want to push other female musicians out there that you can be different and don't let anyone stop you. And thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for your comments. Thank you all for being here. I really loved that. I didn't know there was going to be a Q&A.
Surprise!
Surprise! Yay! Well, you know what, everybody that wanted to speak, if you have a burning desire, go ahead and send us a chat. I'm going to just say two more quick comments that came through. Asrith Veridahedi says, thank you so much, Sage. I'm very impressed. Thank you so much. Beautiful performance. And finally, Caleb Wolf, our Seminole sister that lives here in Santa Fe, says, very talented. So
just before we sign off, there's a couple of things. I just wanted to thank Donna and Christine for finally seeing your chooks, translated chickens, out there, which is really great. And Jocelyn, you might not know this, but today is a very special person's birthday that happens to be Tasha's mum and also Michelle's mum, Kathy, who's on. So I know this is going to sound beautifully awful, but I want us to do this because we're sending the Navajo Nation love. So let's everyone unmute. And Kathy, who is here at the moment, we're going to sing happy birthday to you. So is everyone ready?
But we're going to do it with the Sage Grunge style, with that one. Yeah. Happy birthday.
And you can also sign if you like with Martin. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you. I want to show this guy.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
Mom.
Mama.
Happy.
Happy birthday in Chinle.
Happy birthday to you.
We didn't forget you, Mom. We love
Kathy,
you.
we love you.
Rock it on in Chinle.
Thank you so
Love you,
much.
Sage. Love you,
Love to
interpreters.
all the mums. So in saying that, thanks everyone for beaming in and your social media pages, whether you're live or seeing this tomorrow in the recordings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's give it up for our ASL interpreters, Martin and also Chris Essiano. We'll look forward to seeing you here next Wednesday, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, with the amazing Joanne Wilmot beaming in from Australia. And also, more importantly for right now in this amazing minute, sharing her extraordinary talents, her amazing voice, her walk in the music. Let's give it up for the one and only Sage Bond!
Touch the earth, touch the earth.